Hello, I wanted to give a quick overview of our sensorial shelves before I switch them out this weekend. We're moving on to some new materials, and I thought it'd be nice to give a little bit more of an in-depth look. Some of our permanent features that we keep on our sensorial shelves all of the time are like the knobbed cylinders, which I'm sure you can find videos on these and presentations a lot of places. And then the brown stair and the pink tower, which are two quintessential Montessori materials that you'll see in a primary classroom. Those stay there all the time. And likewise our bells, we don't move them a lot except to work with them, but they hang out there. We don't have a whole bell cabinet, but the kids can play little songs on those and practice different matching, auditory, sensorial type things. But those stay, and I have extensions for those for the older kids. But mostly right now, that's just my 5-year-old who plays with them, who works with them. I'm going to show this. So the kids wanted to work with material. Of course, Montessori, they get a mat and they take it to their mat, and that represents their personal area, space, or responsibility. Nobody can come up and steal their stuff off their mat. They have to be respectful of their work area by like walking around the mat. So they would place this on a mat, and then these they can do blindfolded, or if that's too tricky for a younger child, you do it obviously not blindfolded, but you can see that the more coarser sandpaper on these tactile tablets, and then it's different grading, so it's real fine, and they would match them. It's even finer, and I wish you could feel it, but they match them like that, and they can do it blindfolded, and that really heightens their awareness and their fingertips, and I'm sure that connects all sorts of circuits in the brain. Your fingertips are just so important for doing like math. Like there's studies that show that learning to count on your fingers creates these cool neural pathways in your brain for numbers that light up even like long after you can do just mental math. Your fingertips will still light up, and they say that's actually an important step in learning working with numbers, so don't ever skip that. But so I'm sure that tactile tablets like that are wonderful. Oh, I found a pencil. You never know what's going to be hidden. These are sound tubes or sound cylinders. I'm going to bring this to their mat, and they would take them all out. And again, you could do this blindfolded. You wouldn't need to, because obviously they're would actually be kind of hard to do blindfolded because you might mix them up, but you could do it blindfolded. But I have them close their eyes. So those match. I'm getting lucky here. Ooh, it's tricky. So they could spend a lot of time working with these, which is pretty nice. And then, of course, so each one has a corresponding match, color-coded. And these are just, they're really pretty, aren't they? I think they're pretty. They're simple and wooden and colorful, all the things I like. And learning materials. Okay, so these will go back up on the shelf. And I'm switching these out because I'm going to put up some tasting work. They'll like that. Alright, and these are the, I always don't want to say what it's called because I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. Barrick? Is that right? Berry? I want to say like barium, like a swallow study, but yeah. These tablets you do this blindfolded, and you feel the weight of them, which is something, again, you can't really show on YouTube, but these are much heavier. I take one in each hand, and they weigh them like a scale. This is way lighter. And this one's kind of in between. And they would sort them blindfolded, and then try to see if they got them right. This one is significantly heavier. That's tougher, so. All right. So those might actually stay another week or two, just because they haven't got much use. Because I don't have a blindfold out. I'm gonna order one from Montessori Services this month for free shipping. I have to, because I keep forgetting. Okay, so no, these are gonna go, because no one's done these in forever. These are really for younger kids than mine. My youngest is 5. But these are just matching. It's pretty easy. But they just lay them out and they match the colors. You can work on color names or what have you. And then this is, I know it has been put away since the last time it was used. This is the 3rd color tablet box. Some of them are put away. Probably just the ones that were not used. But anyway, I have these out. We like to match actual like nature objects to the colors. I pull it out and try to find a color that looks like this in nature, like maybe like a leaf or something, or you know, fall, you can find leaves or pumpkins or what have you. But I heard a really cool activity in the Montessori homeschooling group, and I wish I knew who had suggested it, but with paint, doing like a paint color grading where you mix a little bit of white and you try to actually match all the shades. I haven't tried that yet, but I thought that would be really pretty visually to do and really interesting to see how much white or how much, I guess, black to darken. See, I need this lesson too, I'm not even sure. And then if you mix all the colors together, I know you get a nice grayish brown, so that'll be a learning activity. This will stay on our shelves for now, because I want to do the art activity. All right, so then on this side, we have, we just got these. But these are our geometric figures. And you'd make basically, and I got these from Allison's, I think, pretty sure, may have been Kid Advance, no, I'm pretty sure it was Allison's, but they're plastic, and I was really hoping there was like wood ones, because the plastic shapes are off each other. But anyway, what they do is they lay them all out, and try to see which one's visually bigger than the next, and then they have different activities they can do with these, where they try to do it concentrically, where it's equal all the way around, and it's just good fine motor. It's just tricky because they're slippery, but they're good fine motor, and they give a visual sense of, I'm sure there's a better word for that, but of space, and trying not to get them touch anyway. And then they can actually like create designs with them. Anyway, and there's different color ones, so they can work on patterning, which is one of the reasons why I went ahead and got these. Even though I think my kids are maybe a little too old for these, but I thought, you know, my daughter really has trouble with remembering sequence and patterns, so she can do that with the triangles, do that with the circles. You know, put them all at the base, put them all to the side, make a pretty cool design. It's practically garnet and gold colors, almost. Not really, but we could say gold knolls anyway. All right. So those, there's a blue box up there too. But anyway, we haven't even worked with the blue box yet, so these should stay on the shelf. I might have to move them out to make space for my fractions that are gonna go here because they take up a lot of room. So these may just go away for a little while and come back and be like, oh my gosh, these are like totally new. We forgot all about them. These are, I'm just gonna blank on all the names of everything, even stuff that I really know what they're called. Geometric solids. And they can set them up. There's several things. I mean, they can just handle them, say the names, talk about, you know, sphere and cone, etc. Cylinder. But there's also these neat, these are actually really old, so they're kind of dirty, but well, they look clean until, well, anyway, and so they can see, lay these out, see like what fits. It's like the pyramid. And what else has a similar base? Is this? No. That's more of a rectangle. Even though pretty neat. So they can just explore these. This also fits on here, but this one's sides fit on this. So, and then, you know, this is round on the bottom, like a circle. So those are fun. These haven't gotten a lot of attention lately, but they might actually, I don't know, they might go away and come back later so that they're interesting again, but I have a feeling if I leave them out right now, I don't know what is to this. If I leave them out, although I'm probably gonna have to move them for sake of space, but they might, we're gonna revisit our geometric cabinet down here that we've done all of these and a lot of variations. We worked on these like really heavily last year. But we didn't ever go over shape names. I mean, we like kind of did, but there's some I don't even remember. Like, I don't remember what this is. Like, is it a rhombus? I'm really not certain. But I got some 3-part cards for this whole cabinet, so that's what we're gonna do. And I was thinking that might spur some interest in the solids. I don't know, but if not, they'll disappear probably in a week or two and come back on another date. But this is vintage. I'm really not sure from when. I think it's like pre-1970s, but it was gifted to me by a Montessori directress, which is just the most wonderful thing, one of the most wonderful things anyone's ever done, because it pretty much kick-started my whole obsession with like an authentic Montessori approach. Like, I was kind of dabbling in Montessori concepts prior, but then all of a sudden I had all these really cool materials, like all of this stuff, and I had no idea how to do it. I had to teach myself, and I started going, oh my gosh, this stuff is amazing. This stuff is so amazing for hands-on learning, for special needs especially. And then I started researching Maria Montessori and how she worked with kids in the street who, you know, were pretty much abandoned and hopeless, and people thought they were really dumb. And she worked with them with these concepts and materials, and blew my mind how amazing the woman is. She's just, I feel like they should canonize her, honestly, for sainthood. I know she didn't have a perfect history, but I feel like she's pretty close. But anyway, that's just a totally other concept. So that's the board to work with all these shapes. I'm not going to go into this. There's a really, really, really awesome long video by, is it Margaret Humphrey or something like that? But she goes into great detail of all these, but we're just going to leave these out to go over the shape names. So these cards may go, but that's what these are for. They match just like the last thing that I showed you. Oh, my order from Jennifer has shipped. It popped up on my phone. I know you can't see that. I'm so excited. It's a tracing board. Woo-hoo. All right, so this is the first rectangular box for sensorial material. This also was given to me with hand-me-downs. So it's a little dirty, but guess what? It works great. So this is the first introduction into these shapes where they, after they've done the geometric cabinet and work through a lot of the exercises. They get to see the constructive, I don't know what I just called these or if I even introduced them by name, but this is, I talk really fast sometimes, you guys have to slow down. The constructive triangles. So that's what these boxes are. So the box here, here, and these 3 boxes, constructive triangles. And they're all full of triangles, which, not knowing what they were or what they were for, when I opened them up, I was like, these are strange. Are you sure this is educational? Oh, but they are. So you introduce this to the kids by showing them that all of the shapes that there are, like a parallelogram or like a rhombus, all of them can be made up by triangles. And so you show them, and also you introduce them by kind of like going like, and showing them like they're the same. And then if you flip it, it makes. The first presentation, you don't really use any words. You just kind of go like, oh. And you do them all. And then the next time you kind of go, oh, look, we made a rectangle. You know, oh, this looks like a diamond. And it's amazing the kids really actually like this a lot. I don't know why I'm amazed, but I don't know. Kids are funny. They really like this activity. There's a bunch of shapes. You make a bunch of different other shapes out of the triangles. And then we did this again, and we talked a little bit about the, we talked about what the triangles were called if they had the same sides. They're equilateral. Hey, Mary. Yeah, just give me like 5 more minutes, okay? Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so that is the first one to introduce. And then the second one, putting them away sometimes can be tricky. Well, I'll fix it later. Okay, so the smaller rectangular box. And I don't know why, but this lid fits on there so well. It's like it's magnetized. Okay, so these, it's the same exact concept, but with unmarked shapes. And the point of this one, which I was really perplexed actually the first time I read through the lesson, and I couldn't figure out exactly what they're talking about, but the point is that you show them sliding and how the shapes come together. Oh, and they get really excited with rectangle, but you just keep sliding. Pause when you make a shape and then go back down. Oh, a parallelogram.
Can we have some, Doesn't wants to know if we can watch Harry Potter after the 5 minutes.
No. Go outside. Shut the door, please.
You know what Mommy said? The answer?
Anyway, and so the sliding concept is just really neat because they can go, oh, I made another shape. That's so cool. Homeschool mom life. I made another shape. And they get really excited and seeing how they can combine all these things. And then this is really good. We talked about that day when we introduced these, and also when we've been reviewing and working with them individually. We do as a group, and then they work with them when they want to. But we talked about right angles, obtuse, acute angles, and my 7-year-old was like, look, Mama put two acute angles together, and now it's obtuse. And I was like, that's amazing. Yes, you're absolutely right. So I have that, and then I have some little cards that we wrote out while we were talking about, you know, equilateral, same side, right angle, rhombus, obtuse, just concepts. They don't have them memorized, but they're absorbing them. That's all I want. And then these 3 boxes are gonna stay, so I'll probably talk about them another time. And then this is the binomial, which is gonna go away because everyone's mastered this. It's not even hard. And we have a trinomial, but I don't have it up there. But this teaches the binomial, I don't know, it teaches later math, binomial equation. I feel like I should know, but I have no idea who makes this. It looks like it was like handmade. There's no brand. I can't find another one like this. It's really pretty. And I'll show you how you do it. Binomial, especially because carpet fibers everywhere. I don't know if I'm going to get to show you because first of all, pregnancy brain, and second of all, my kids are getting restless. Weather is beautiful here today in Florida. But anyway, I have to use this as a guide to show them. So this is like an equation in physical form. Binomial equation, does that sound like a thing? I am not a math person, so I will be learning right alongside. So the trick is to try to build this, and the trinomial has 3 layers. But anyway, look, the blue can only touch the blue, and it's wood color on that side, so you know it goes there. And this isn't how you set it up, just for the sake of time, I'm doing a less formal presentation. And then that one goes there. And you can add numbers to these when they get older, so it actually, I did that wrong, didn't I? Obviously. Sorry if this is boring, but people ask for a more in-depth look, so there you go. Not forced to watch this. And this one's red, 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 as you can see on the sides of those. There you go. I just did some math. And I broke it. I'll fix it later. I knew that was gonna happen.